Okay, good evening, Speed Gaming 5, and welcome to more of the Casual Boots tournament. We're currently still into the group stages. Tonight we have a matchup in Group A, and we're seeing windfox versus AceZer0. Currently, windfox, this is his 6th game and final game for groups. It's currently 5-0, while this is game number 3 for AceZer0, currently 1-1. As always, top 2 runners get out of the group and move into the brackets. I am Sniper99, joined by Foxlisk. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
Good. So yeah, this is Kaz Boots tourney. So it's exactly what it says. It's the casual boots. You start with boots, you start with a sword, and you go to escape.
You do go to escape immediately. And then, because you start out with a sword, you always immediately get a second sword and have to do an AceZer0.
Yeah, that's always a fun way to do this. I mean, I'll take it if I have to. So yeah, we're going for, of course, the escape. Boots does make this quite a bit faster. In terms of the times we're looking at, hoping for anywhere in that sub 520. If you're pushing close to a 510, even better.
Yeah, we're sort of the escape. I mean, the time difference shouldn't be that big a deal. It's kind of interesting. Sometimes you get a bunch of items and you get to spend the escape thinking about what to do, and sometimes you just, like, so far they're just getting rupees, which is pretty silly. And then you kind of just sometimes have a normal start after this where you like go to CAC and do all the density stuff, and sometimes you end up like getting some kind of weird combination of items that set the rest of the seed off in a really interesting direction, which I think is pretty fun. So we'll see what kind of seed it is today.
Yeah, the CAC skip is a is a bit of a rarer play, I guess, but always interesting to see who will try it.
Yeah, some players really like putting it off until they have maybe a bottle or flute or something. I think it's goofy, but some people really like it.
Yeah, there's definitely situations that can help out, and some of the other kinds of CAC skip variants. You know, you could do the early hula hand. Not many people pull that one anymore, but one of the more interesting ones is a water walk out of Lost Woods to head down to South Shore.
Ace already at 1 heart. I don't know if any of these enemies are dropping hearts. I don't think so. Well, maybe he'll get a pot in the Zelda cell room.
So the guards were part of the miscellaneous pack.
Okay, yeah. So there's the heart from the Mist pack. That's good.
And pretty much traded health a little bit there. windfox having a little bit of trouble with that blue guard, unfortunately, with the boom.
Yeah.
Chest. So gonna have to be a little careful. Nothing too worrying.
Yeah, we don't really expect anything too dramatic to happen in here.
Yeah, like at this point, windfox is pretty much guaranteed his spot in brackets. It's really just a question of, you know, improving his seeding.
Oh yeah, I don't actually know how seeding works. Is it like first seeds are shuffled into the top 32 and second seeds are shuffled at 33 to 64 or something like that?
I'm not entirely sure myself.
Okay.
I have not looked at all the details from the announcement from the tourney, but
I mean,
you know,
worst case scenario, you're playing for glory. Like, do you really want to tell all your friends, oh, I only went 5-1, or do you want to be able to say you went 6-0?
True. I mean, this, you know, these groups were completely random to begin with, so you know, you get into the bracket, and you know, you could have faced the second runner from a group of death, or you could face the second runner from something a little more friendly.
So we're coming into the sewers now. We get to see some more items, and we also get to check the rat drops. Drops aren't as important in this mode because you can open the back of escape no matter what.
Yeah, generally speaking, we probably won't see much grinding. At this point, you know, we did get a bomb pack, so
yeah, the bomb from the chest was very nice.
yeah,
Maybe we get lucky and we get to skip the sank chest if we know it's the map. It's the
Yeah,
most exciting thing that can happen from here.
pretty much. This is a lot easier than like when we had hard standard a couple of years ago or last year for the main tourney. So you don't have to worry about bombs.
Yeah.
You know, you get those 3. Even if we didn't get any bombs in escape, those boots provide some really nice coverage. That fortune teller right outside of Kakariko, there's a bonkable rock there that actually will guarantee a bomb drop. So
That's true. It's very handy.
yeah, so like even worst case, you could get yourself a couple of bombs before heading into Kakariko.
Yeah. They do have 4 red rupees out of 5 items so far, which is pretty impressive. Will we see anything remotely interesting in this whole escape?
Red
Nope.
Rang, there we go. Pending everybody's views on boomerangs, you know, that's an okay find.
Oh, Windfox checking the stun prize, which turns out to be a bomb. That's actually pretty good knowledge. AceZer0 is also about to find it out.
So just above a 520 or close to 530 from each of them.
Oh, there's the Moon Pearl!
That makes a lot of the water walking and fake flipper stuff a lot better in this mode.
That's true, yeah. It is very tempting to do a water walk early because you start with boots, so you can always do that whole sequence really, really nicely. They don't have a ton of money yet, but we'll see what happens. There's a lot of chests to open in CAC.
Yeah, and plenty of, at this point, you got more than enough that you'll be fine in CAC. You'll get the, there's 50 rupees always readily available
Right.
between Well and Blind's Hut, so you'll get the money necessary for Bottle Vendor, no problem.
We'll see. I don't know if the meta lately is to do Aga checks or not. I always do it, but I'm pretty bad. Oh, and more rupees on trees.
Wow, that's a great tier 2.
Yeah. And oh my god, this whole seed is made up of red rupees.
Yeah, just get your money and be ready to go to Zora. Like, why not?
Yeah, that's pretty handy actually. Oh, I didn't see what was on Aghanim.
I don't
Ledge,
think
did
there's
you?
anything important, but I could be wrong. It looks like Windfox is going to give us a second view, so if it was something... No, that is mirror. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's important.
Probably. It's not
Yeah.
always required. I don't know. With an early Moon Pearl, you kind of like knowing that Aga is going to be required. There's the lamp. Because, I don't know, I was saying earlier, I do feel like these seeds have more Aga seeds than usual, presumably just because you start with one of the items necessary to get into Aga, so it's like earlier in the logic chains.
Yeah.
And just knowing ahead of time that it's required makes sort of a weight off.
That's the thing. I think, you know, when do you check Aga if you don't check it at the beginning of this mode? Like, you got
Yeah.
boots. What's the rationale not to?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I get that you can, you know, hey, I can skip a little bit, maybe, you know, gain a little bit of time on my opponent. But realistically, like, how often do you get that opportunity to go do that?
There's a bow. Oh, somebody did a map check. Okay, so Pendant Eastern makes that bow a lot less exciting.
I will say that the presence of a bow early, though, at least, would make, like... I'm looking at that Aga, and I'm just thinking, okay, is this Aga for Dark World, or is this Aga just for the mirror? And one of the things I really be tempted by is, you know, do I have anything interesting in Dark World after going through Aga? At least having that bow makes Pod a reasonable play.
That is, yeah, that's definitely true. It's a good point.
Like, the number, like, if you go into Dark World and you're like, I got a hook shot, okay, there's some options. But if you have, like, none of the Dark World kit to move around and do stuff, it just doesn't ever feel like a great option that quickly.
Right. With a nice shovel, pretty easy to work that in the early game. That's one of the fetch quests that's much easier to do with stuff and tends to be isolated if you get it really late.
Yeah, that'll be a great... I wonder if we'll see the trade up here. Usually I would say, like, if you get the shovel, it's like, I'm just going to blind do race game now.
Okay.
And,
We'll
like,
see what they do.
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, if I know I'm going to go back down for something afterwards, then I just like the ability to hit race game and not have to maybe double back on it as we get our flippers. Yeah, start grinding money.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably see more crab catching. If we don't get a rupee horde before we get to South Shore, I suspect we'll do some crab farming for reds.
Yeah, we got the bush crab out by Mini Moldorm Cave, so...
Right.
Okay, so AceZer0 is still going to scout.
Gets paid off for it. And he's going to go turn in the shovel right away.
Yeah, that's just a play I've been thinking about, or I've heard other people kind of talk about, is like, hey, if I got the shovel, why not just do it, and I'll just jump off the ledge if it's not anything.
Sure. Neither player with the tryhard genes necessary to quick swap to boomerang to stun that guard before going back to the shovel.
We did get a shovel dash, though, from Windfox. I
Love to see
appreciate
it.
the memes.
Huge fan. Ace is skipping Dam. Going straight to Eastern.
Interesting. So
Almost
gonna go for the
straight.
pendant play.
I assume this is a pendant Eastern play, but it might also just be I want to do Saha first play. If you just, some people like to just treat this as a quick 3-item check.
I don't know. I would hope against going with the 3-item play here, just because, what were you hoping for to make your life easier, I guess, is the question. And yeah, it looks like we're
Right.
going to get the Eastern play.
Okay, I don't hate this.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. I mean, I get why. It's a fully clearable dungeon. It's just as many items as Windfox is going to get, or not that much less than what Windfox is getting with the South Shore play. So,
Okay, here's what I don't like about this. What I don't like about this is that we're going to get pod access and the mirror at the same time, and now you can't do this with those things. But I think that I don't know what Ace is thinking, but I think that a lot of people are really, really heavily biased against going dependent Eastern, and I think that there might be a meta aspect of it of just like, I think it's a lot better than my opponent does, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But I don't know. There's a glove. That's interesting.
a little more money as well. Still a bit short, hopefully.
Well, he can farm now at the crappy
Yeah.
farm spot if he wants to go to Zora. Or he can go back and do a bush crab, but it's a little late for that.
Apparently
The other way.
gonna not do that, so... I'm with you. I would have gotten that bush crab a second time.
Yeah.
Especially because it's, like, by the looks of it, if I know I'm doing Aga, then there's definitely a temptation to, or just having the extra money, like, hey, if I go do Aga, I probably want pod money.
That's also true, yeah. I always forget about pod money, but that's definitely another thing. Alright, looks like we're just gonna do a Zora play without Zora money. I don't love this, really.
Yeah, like, where this is an interesting gamble to just say, I'm gonna set up the water walk and hope between Hobo, Zora Waterfall, and the ledge that I'm gonna get my money.
Yeah.
This seems needlessly risky at this point. Like, I don't know.
You're just not that far. It's not like you have to spend 10 minutes farming rupees. It'd be 1 minute. I don't know. Windfox is poised to go 6-0. I went 3-3. I'm maybe he knows something I don't, but it doesn't look right to me. I haven't seen Ace open anything interesting in Eastern. I missed one chest maybe, but It doesn't look like that's been very exciting so far.
Yeah, I don't see any items on the tracker. Ike here behind the scenes doing our tracking tonight, so...
Shoutouts to Ike here.
But does get all 3 items, so...
That's kind of good.
At least notice that so it can get out of there without having to go kill Armos.
Right.
So, I mean, if Windfox takes the bait of Eastern, won't pay out too much.
Well, the thing is, we have to find progression now because we're out of locations.
Well, we also have a Gina.
Right, there's a couple things left, but it's real thin, right? We have Zora here, we have Akina.
We've got a Death Mountain climb for 2. Or you got
Oh,
Mitts there.
Chat is saying Hobo had flute, so I guess that's it. Probably
Well,
go up to the mountain.
I mean, we have a glove as well, so we had the full mountain.
Oh, that's right.
Anyway.
Ace has the lamp. Oh, I think Windfox just now. No,
Oh, yeah,
I
we
don't know. I
don't.
can't tell.
Completely missed that Windfox did not have a lamp.
Okay, there's the mitts. It looks like Windfox does have the lamp, and it just was not tracked
Okay,
yet.
never mind. Yes, the good old slightly temperamental trackers. The tracker interface sometimes does eat.
We see here Ace grabbing a bunch of money and is going to do all the same stuff Windfox just did and get his mitts, but he is also going to be able to pay Zora, which is not looking that exciting now that we know about flute and mitts. Maybe it just doesn't matter, but I do think that this is sort of a more hygienic play.
Yeah, you just don't want to have something be there and be like, that becomes a really late play. Like,
yeah, Windfox just
has
never
no
getting
reason.
there. If that's like the ice rod or something, it's just going to be such a pain.
Like, what he'd really be looking for at that point is... he has mirror at Quakefish and a ton of money, and, like, it just makes him think about doing something else. I don't know.
I mean, we know where mirror is.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he
So
has
you
the
can
mirror
mirror, yeah, right.
at Quakefish, and then...
You could do that. I think we're going to get a Thieves Town play, though, or some kind of West Dark World play. Never mind. We're going to the mountain, I guess?
Meyer area?
Meyer area first. Okay. Bottle? Well, all right.
I imagine we'll get a very quick map check here from Wind to decide upon, you know, what we care about in Dark World. Do we care about that mirror? So we see that's Bombos. And we do have a red crystal at Eastern, pendant Meyer, green pendant TR. So
Meyer and TR and Eastern. Okay.
So yeah, this is a...
No
this is an Argosy.
Samaria?
Yeah, no Samaria is an option here. At least not required for 2 of our the pendants.
Right. Oh, Ice Rad. That's not very interesting because of what we just learned about Turtle Rock. Not going to do Desert Palace?
No mirror yet.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's probably why.
Yeah, those requirements for our pendant dungeons, specifically the TR requirements, very unlikely to require pedestal at this point.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean...
It can happen, but I wouldn't count on anything there. I wouldn't hold my breath for it.
Yeah. So Windfox is opting to go up the mountain now instead of going to Dark World. What do you think about this? Well, I guess he can do... No, he can't do East Dark World because he can't get there. I mean, you can just turn in the old man as sort of a one-off and then do the rest later. Kind of nice to have the save and quit place done. Go up, check Spec Rock, maybe.
Yeah, these are some interesting decisions from Wind. Like, they're not terrible, but for 2 checks right now, like, you're really hoping for a home run, I feel like, with this decision. But here we go. AceZer0 about to give us Zora. Is this important?
Well, there's a Master Sword behind the mirror, so we'll need to get either a cape or another sword. I don't know how many swords are in the pool in this tournament. I
All
haven't
4.
gotten a gold sword yet, but I don't know why not.
Yeah, all 4 are there. It's just usually Kaz Boots doesn't see you finding everything too frequently, so
Okay, so there are 3 placed plus the one that you start with.
yeah.
So okay, so we'll need to find one of the other 2 then, or cape, right? That could actually be our second sword, depending on where cape is.
For Aga, yes.
Ace also going straight to King's Team. Interesting. I tend to try to group this with mirror checks later, but both players opted to do it very fast. And now we're into Village of Outcasts. Let's see if we get anything interesting here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm surprised we didn't get a rush there.
I am too. That's definitely what I would have done, but windfox opted for a different path. Do you go into Thieves Town here?
Possibly a front 4 check. It's a crystal, so the hard part here for Wind is the fact that he's found a very, very quick red mail, and that is not going to be fun to death warp with. Like, I feel like one of the things for Wind is he might be like, please, can I get another sword? Can I get a cape so I don't have to death warp?
Right. You can do Thieves Town and just pray that the big chest is not important. Like, you can finish the dungeon right now.
Yeah, and that's not a bad idea either. Like, I could see that happening. And we'll see what kind of items we get in general here to kind of make that kind of decision.
Yeah. Ace also going up the mountain for going to Dark World. Oh, there's the hammer. That's
Never
very
mind.
funny.
Yeah, you just beat.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's just beat Thieves.
For sure.
All this thought of, hey, will I do this? And yeah, we'll just do it.
For sure. Oh, I can't believe windfox didn't get hit there. So it looks like going to Thieves Town is the right play because it's a crystal and a full clearable dungeon and has your hammer and everything. So I kind of want Ace to do that because it seems like a really good play. But on the other hand, he's just kind of been doing stuff we've already seen from windfox for 15 minutes, and I'd like him to do something more dramatic and exciting for the stream.
Yeah, I don't see a reason to go around it, though, is the problem.
Yeah, no, I think it's both correct and also kind of obvious.
Yeah.
What do we do after this, after Thieves Town? Assuming we get nothing in here, which is not a very good assumption, but...
I think I would head and do hammer pegs. Go to Dig Game, Stumpy, Hype Cave, and then head straight into Pod. And maybe check Pyramid Ledge. But I might just skip Pyramid Ledge and do that after I beat Aga, so... But I think you just loop into Pod at this point if you're windfox. Like, I think you write off Eastern in general, and we know that's the right answer.
Right.
But I think you just say, I'm not going to worry about having a mirror to do Pod Eastern together. I'm just going to hope that I continue to find my progression and can skip it.
AceZer0 has changed his ways. AceZer0 is going to the front of Skull Woods immediately. This is not the player I used to know. What happened to you, Ace?
You get burned by this play a few too many times, and it just it changes a person.
He used to be... Oh, he's just checking the one. Oh, is he... No, he's not. Okay.
So I
just checking the first item and going back down. Not even checking Bumper Ledge. I don't like putting off Bumper Ledge here, but okay, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a key there, you probably finish the front. If you get an item there, it informs you as well. So hopefully this doesn't turn to going back to Skull Woods, though. too soon. I doubt that's going to happen.
There's no way you go back with that fire rod, right?
At this rate, no. I feel like making that decision to just dip that front for one check is like, that's as far as I want to invest right now.
Yeah, and he got the item out of it, so like you're gonna go back and do everything for maybe one item. I think you just come back when you can beat it.
Pretty much.
Windfox on blind. Blind is a scripted fight, although not anymore after that start. Does he have any safeties? I don't think so, except for red mail, which is pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, those fireballs are always a heart of damage, so safeties or not, he just has to watch out. Blind's not the issue here, but does get through it.
AceZer0 about to come up on his somewhat interesting news here, this being a hammer. We saw another medallion from Windfox. We're up to 2 medallions. Did we check? We did check Meyer, which was Bombus, it looks like, if I can read the tracker. That is actually really good. You really don't want to be able to get into Samaria-less Pendant Meyer. You'd much rather never have access if you can avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, let's just put nothing behind Cane of Samaria in the sea. That'd be great. Don't make us touch TR. Don't make us touch Meyer. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely what the players would prefer. Unless one of them, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe Ace would prefer there be something behind somewhere. Oh, speaking of the devil.
I mean, at this point, if I get fire, I just beat ice as well. So let's, you know, I think the route still stays the same. You do this Dark World loop. I don't think you worry about the Smith or the purple chest, and you just go do hype into pod. Unfortunately for Ace, gonna be short on money unless we find it soon, and doesn't even have enough right now for a dig game.
Really? Wait, how much does dig game cost?
80.
Oh. Can you do archery game? How does that cost? Okay. So we're fine.
Yeah, archery's only 20, so it does have the money for it.
I think if I get Aghanim access by the time I'm at Hype Cave, I probably go do Aga before pod. But otherwise, I think your route is probably what I would do as well.
The only question there is, do you go get that mirror before you do pod because how much value is in the mirror for pod?
I do if I'm Windfox, I don't if I'm Ace. Because if I'm Windfox, I want to do Eastern with it, or I at least want that option available. And I definitely want to do Saha with it. This has been there's really been nothing found since that hammer.
Yeah. I mean, Samaria is nice just for the, like, that'll make routing a lot nicer for ice.
It definitely makes ice
a load. Nicer. It's a load off the mine when it comes to GT at this point.
True.
So
it's it just doesn't. I mean, it's not directly progression. I guess it does make ice nicer, and it, you know, opens up the specter of Turtle Rock. We are seeing a pyramid ledge check here.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I fully am invested in that one. I think, you know you're beating Aga, which is your easy opportunity to go get this later. So, like, unless it's a sword, yeah. If it was sword or cape, I'd be like, you know, awesome. But the fact that it's nothing just tells me you could have waited on it.
Oh, we're not even going to pod. Whoo.
Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much Wind, I think, having to write off Zora then. Like, if he ever goes to Zora, I'd be shocked. Now, this is, you know, Zora has become something you don't even want to look at. And that's fine. We know it's nothing.
It is fine, yeah. It's aggressive, though. Tabby Cat in chat is telling us that this is just how Wind does this. Wind did not have $500 to pay Zora. He got the Zora ledge item, but not the Zora item. Ace is skipping hammer pegs, it looks like.
We'll say that's definitely one of those checks that, if you're not thinking about it at the time, it's very easy to kind of skip it.
Also forgets about the rupee requirement.
And that's also not surprising. You get it and you get there and you're like, oh yeah, I've always got money for this.
Yeah.
When have I not had money for
It's
Zora?
30 minutes
or
in
for
the game. Who doesn't have $80?
Yeah.
The upside of that is that this will remind him to think about rupees more and probably go up to enough to open pod.
Okay, so Wind is going to check Magic Bat.
All right. I don't know. It feels so bad to do checks that are a million times faster if you have the mirror when you know where the mirror is and don't have it yet.
Yeah, it's like there's other ways I would route that in. Like, I think my issue with this is if your plan wasn't to go do pod at that moment, then why not pick up the Smith if you're also thinking about powder?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
There's combinations to this. It's not even like it's like, hey, we got a hook shot out of there, so like that's awesome. But like there's a cohesion to some of these plays, and we get the book as we have the book, so like good
Where
call
was
in the
book?
desert.
I didn't even notice that.
Book was on Catfish.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, well. That might be very important, or it might be kind of bait. I guess we'll sort of see right now. Because you'd rather do this with mirror. I mean, you'd rather do everything with mirror. It's so weird that we have an Agassiz and no second sword will show up.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I'm wondering when we would see.
You can't
Like-
hit switches while you're in iframes, as windfox is demonstrating.
Like, I'm surprised we didn't take that hook shot up the mountain, hoping for a density play, and the fact that maybe we don't ever need TR. Like, what do we need for go right now? A fire rod and a sword, or a cape to even put us in sword mode? Like, we're missing so little. Why not chase the density up the mountain here, and hope for one jump up there?
My guess would
Very
be
curious.
that windfox was thinking about desert and got the hook shot and went, oh shit, what do I do now? I'm just going to go finish doing desert, because that's how it would happen to me.
Yeah.
But I do agree that going up the mountain seems pretty tempting. It's like, you don't love going up the mountain when you would have Turtle Rock access, except you don't have Fire Rod, but since it's a pendant, I think that's not really a reason to stop.
And we are getting the pod play over on AceZer0 side, so not going to get that book for a bit, if at all. Hopefully does remember hammer pegs and the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other worry here on windfox's side is we're facing down, like, I'm not saying this is a bad fight, but windfox is looking down practically NMG Landmo here. Like, there's worse fights in the world. Yeah. Well, that's the intended NMG, I guess, right?
Or you could do it with bow, which is the most fun. We're almost through the outer layer of pod and into the gooey item insides.
Ooh, that's a much better way to think about it. It's a sweet treat rather than a mullet mansion. I like it.
Mm-hmm. A shield.
Yay! I mean, yeah, we need a shield. Anybody who tells you otherwise is wrong. Shields like make everything better. At least one of them.
Shield is actually, I think, a little underrated, but that doesn't matter. It's good memes. All right, pretty friendly Lambo. Doesn't quite get the last one, but it's all right. I don't think we have another shot here. Oh, we do. Okay.
Yeah, had only fired off 6 shots of the ice rod and used 4 lamp hits, so that was gonna leave at least that 1 shot.
Yeah, so unless I'm forgetting something, he didn't actually get anything out of that except the bottle. So we'll see if Sick Kid has anything. Another shield. We'll see if Sick Kid has anything later, probably. That's a pretty easy check to just go whenever you're fluting anywhere.
Yeah, and Wynn's been pretty thorough so far up to this point, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him hit Sick Kid before making another play.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Nothing on Nagina. See what's in the back of pod here. More keys.
And yet, Windfox is going to check Sick Kid. So he is being very thorough so far in this seed.
Nothing on Sick Kid. Maybe just yet another reminder that he's never getting to Zora.
And back up the mountain. Interesting.
Okay, well, I think that this is good, right? You kind of wanted him to do this earlier, and now we're doing it maybe a step beyond what you would have recommended, but I think it seems good here.
Yeah, just it feels like a weird order. It's not wrong at all. Like, I can't look at this and go, anything's a mistake.
It's really hard to be like, oh, you blew it by doing a fully clearable crystal dungeon.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't correct, it wasn't that incorrect, you know? Like, maybe it's a small mistake, but Ace doing a great job of getting beaten up in here. This is going to be a really convenient death warp compared to what I expected when he started trying to take damage.
Yeah, he was preparing for this from the beginning. Unfortunately, yeah. Bombs only do a quarter heart of damage when you're on red mail.
Yep.
It's brutal.
So, but just absolute crap in pod, am I right? Is there just nothing in here?
Yeah. We've really seen nothing. There's a sword, finally.
Sword!
And really, at this point, Windfox is looking for a fire rod.
Is that right? Is it just fire rod for go mode? Wow. Alright, well. I don't know when Ace is gonna... That hookshot was on Magic Bat, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I just don't know when Ace is gonna get to that. I mean, it could be kind of whenever, but there's just kind of a whole constellation of random checks to do. When do you do that particular one?
Right. And Windfox, I guess, isn't gonna do Hera. Maybe hoping to do Hera before GT?
You don't think he's just going back upstairs?
If he wanted to do Hera, I feel like he would have done that before Spiral. He's not even doing Dark Death Mountain. He's like, here we go. It's Aga time.
He's gonna do it with the mirror. Yeah.
Yep.
You could potentially get mirror and go west to east on the mountain, although I don't know if that's good or anything. Just something you could do.
Yeah, I think the only quote-unquote problem I have with this play to leave the mountain is, what if Fire Rod was there in Hera? What if it was there on Dark Death Mountain in Hookshot or Super Bunny? Like, he's resigning himself to an extra mountain climb. And I mean, he's in great shape right now, don't get me wrong. Like,
That's not an extra mountain climb if nothing's in Hera.
yes, if nothing else is on the mountain, Wind made a great play here that works out perfectly. If it's there, though...
Ace, use your both.
Spin speed.
You're fine. It's fine. Yeah, I think he never learned that.
Nice, not bad with the hammer extension through the sword.
Yeah, I think Windfox's plan has got to be basically do swamp. That's got to be the play. If you're leaving the mountain when he did.
Yeah,
You're
hoping that between pod and swamp you'll find fire rod at this point.
Yeah, I think that's probably I mean that's how he wins, right? I mean he's ahead right now anyway, but in his brain that's got to be the way that the seed works out well for you. Like optimally for you is if you leave the mountain early, you find the fire rod in the swamp that you have to do anyway, and then you just win. And that's pretty good chance it'll happen, right? I mean, there's a bunch of items in pod and swamp. We know there's nothing in pod, but it could be something in swamp. Oh, good. Clear Mouse is here. Finally, I can hand the mic over.
Okay, so AceZer0 is going back to
This is good.
Magic Bat, so that will give that hook shot. Hopefully we don't have to worry about that cane too much, because I really don't know when Ace goes back for hammer pegs for Samaria, so really kind of hoping that nothing is requiring Samaria.
Well, it's whenever he gets his mirror, right? He goes and he finds a second sword, either the one in Paradox Cave or somewhere else. He gets the mirror. He does swamp. If Fire Rod isn't there, this is probably the next place you go. You do Smith Sequence, and you do Hammer Peg.
That's fair.
He is doing the play that you wanted Windfox to do. Nice boulders. Of going straight up the mountain as soon as you got the hook shot.
Meanwhile, Windfox is on that Aga fight, so I imagine we'll see a save and quit immediately to go get mirror. And then we'll see if that leads him to either... Well, maybe that's what it is that he's wants the mirror because that gives him the easy tempered sword as well. Be very curious to see how Wind plays this. Because, like, I don't think he's going to full clear Hera. He's got the 2 swords to get Ether Tablet, so... The 3rd sword would make Ice a lot nicer, depending when he gets Fire Rod or Bombos. So... Nothing's really bad about it.
I don't know Windfox well enough to say. I would say that I would expect most runners who are playing at a tournament level to not really be thinking very much about weaponry beyond Master Sword. You should be able to do your dungeons with Master Sword. You have 10 hearts and red mail. It should not be a problem. You get Tempered Sword when it's convenient. You shouldn't let it block your ability to do checks for the most part. Obviously, this was an open tournament. There's plenty of like players. There was no filtering process. There's no qualifiers or anything. So that won't apply to everyone in this, but that would be my guess for most players.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand, I guess, a little bit. I know...
Where are we going? We going to pod with no mirror? Just saying, hell no, I'm never checking Eastern or Saha. Maybe you just go get flute and then, or you go get mirror and then flute back here to check those 2 things? I don't know.
Yeah, this is a mix of aggression, or like aggressive play, and caution that I'm not used to. Because like my thought would be, you want that mirror for pod because of how annoying it can be. Like, are you hoping that you've got a god pod here?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think this is pretty weird. Ace opening up Hera for us. Let's see what we find. Got the big key in the first chest. Pretty convenient. Don't fall. Okay, thank you.
Whew.
I didn't see what was in Basement Cage. I don't know if we saw the map yet.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed the item there.
They're going the long way. Bumper unskip. For Hammer Moldarm instead of Spins Moldarm. Alright.
Very nice kill.
Basement Cage was rupees. So
We have an item in the basement.
Do we go for it? We go for it here, right?
I think he does. I mean, at this point in his mind, it looks like, hey, I just need a fire rod for go mode. So, maybe I can get away with the skip. Yep.
Yeah, we're
actually, he's
skipping it.
going. Yep.
He hasn't really been skipping stuff, and if you're only going to skip a couple things, that's a good one to pick.
Yeah, I mean, at this point especially,
and he just got access. He just got the Master Sword, which gives him all the mirror checks and Aga and Swamp. So,
Yeah, and he went hard into an Eastern play and a full pod clear that both really gave nothing. So,
right.
For him, it probably feels like I probably need to cut a corner somewhere.
Definitely makes sense. I think you probably expect your opponent to spend about as much time in pod as you did. But there's definitely a reasonable chance that windfox will never open Eastern and save, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. It can't be that much. But anyway, a reasonable chunk of time.
Now, Ace is going to open up or try to open up TR. It doesn't have Samaria, so we know there's not going to be any going in.
Windfox trying to do the stair. Yep, there we go. Double bombos.
Okay.
Love to see it, actually.
Yeah, definitely one of the better possibilities.
It's definitely what Ace wants to see. Well, I guess one way Ace could win is if Windfox can go into Turtle Rock and does, and it sucks. Oh, there's the Fire Rod.
Yep. So that's GT mode for Ace.
Oh my god, this Kana Samaria. Oh no, dude, what a trap! It's like 76% chance that we're in go mode or something. What a nightmare.
And when taking what I would say is the right way through this, without Mirror saying, let me go do a hammer jump here, I can go get this and then walk out instead of the death warp. I don't hate this idea as the alternate route, so...
I just love hammer jump. I just love doing glitches. Why would you not do the glitch if you can do the glitch?
I'm trying to come up with an actual reasonable idea, and my rando brain says no, but it's NMG tech. Why not do NMG tech?
That's fun. Okay, so I love that. I forgot that was possible, but I love that Windfox just did.
Oh yeah, the ledge jump.
Yeah, where you sort of poke the beetles.
Yep, great strategy ever, always.
Yeah,
I love that one. So for Wind at this point, probably going to go get the mirror and go beat Swamp Palace. Worst case for Wind right now is Bombos Medallion. Because Bombos sends him into Ice Palace probably for a full clear.
Oh, I was thinking that you meant as bait for the pendant dungeons, but no, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, I think Ace is finding that fire rod there was really big. That probably gives him the edge. Having a little trouble in Circle of Pots. Also, I think we're going to.
Oh no, we just threw him a little bit. Yep.
I think Ace is probably going to be on Master Sword until GT,
Yeah.
which is fun.
Probably picks up that tempered sword on the way to GT, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now we will get some information. So in AceZero's shoes, there is the ability to know whether or not we were expected to have Samaria. We'll get that information out of Ice Palace. So hopefully, doesn't become too much of a trap, but definitely a problem of being able to say, hey, I know that the cane should be or should not be available in GT. And that's about it.
So okay, I don't really know this, but what I've heard is that if there's a small key on Cold Stare, then it is logically behind Red Cane.
Correct. That's it.
If there's not a small key on Cold Stare, then you don't know for sure.
Then it is definitely
anything.
not Red Cane locked.
But it could still be available. Like that doesn't say anything about where Red Cane is, except
Right,
that
but
it's not behind Cold Stare. It's not.
Well, what we can say is that, right, like if there's a key on Cold and we need Cane, or like we know that it can't be in GT kind of deal. But honestly, by that point, obviously Ace is going to just full clear.
Though.
Yeah, like he would still full clear left side, hoping to find the big key anyway.
Yeah. So if the big key is in one of the 5 chests that are behind Red Cane, Ace is in real trouble, and otherwise Windfox is in real trouble, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Wind is up to 3 crystals. It's 3 crystals apiece right now, so like...
How much time is Windfox going to lose doing things that Ace doesn't have to do? Because a lot of what he's going to do... Well, he's going to do Left Side Swamp, maybe. He's going to open more chests in Swamp and Ice Palace. Well, only if he gets Bombos, though.
So
maybe it's not that bad for Windfox.
This is what's bad for Windfox. These checks are what's going to really start separating it.
This is not going to be good, yeah.
Yeah, so this looks like a Smith chain into Swamp Palace, whereas Ace is going to just go straight to, we're getting the immediate save and quit, get the mirror, and go straight to Swamp or to Skull Lake or to Desert. There's just no reason for Ace to slow down on just hitting crystals.
He'll open stuff like the Diver Down chest, but he's not going to go out of his way for anything.
Exactly. Whereas Wind is going, I'm going to get Smith. I'm going to hit, this into purple chest. I'll do K45. I'll do Bombos tablet, and then I'll go into Swamp Palace at the end of this.
Right. And I don't mind that in a vacuum, but it seems worse to me than doing Dark Death Mountain while you're on Death Mountain. And if you're going into Overworld checks now, I'm a little confused by this selection of Overworld checks to do before jumping to Swamp. I don't know. Maybe just hoping he'd find other stuff on his way, and now he's doing this. Did he check Bombos tablet already?
No.
Okay. I guess having already done the Dark World loop, you can't really route these together, but that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Like, if you're going to do this set, why not do Bombos and K45 in a swamp?
I'm not really sure, yeah. And then you'd get to have your portal down here and stuff. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ace is getting his Tempered Sword?
It makes things easier, but yeah.
I mean, okay.
It's fine. Like, we don't have a ton of safeties.
If you don't feel like you're gonna reliably be able to kill Cold Stare and on your current gear, then you should get the Tempered Sword immediately, so you'll have it as long as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it'll make the fights quicker, so it's not a terrible thing. I'll be curious to see if Ace does try to pull extra items out of here. You know, gets that big key. Do we make a play possibly to still get both items here? Hoping to not get burned by Samaria?
It's hard to say, yeah. I really don't know. I wouldn't, I don't think, but...
Yeah, and the experienced rando runner in me says no as well. And it looks like, yep, AceZer0 says, nope, I'm done.
Oh,
Let's go.
I'm either winning or I'm losing. Let's find
Yep.
out.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of this group A, so the other two runners are Golfer Bolts, who is currently 0-5, and Otakaru, who's 2-2. So really, it's looking like it's going to be a fight between Otakaru and AceZer0 for the other spot.
Mm-hmm. So, right. So if windfox wins this, then basically windfox's games are all irrelevant for who gets second place. It's just the other three amongst each other, which sounds like it'll come down to Ace versus Otakaru, I think you said.
Yep.
But if Ace wins this, then he's the only player who takes a game off of windfox and has a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, a lot of tiebreakers look nicer in
Yeah.
Ace's shoes with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice land.
Very nice.
Now we're going to start seeing windfox is going to lose a lot of time in this dungeon over Ace, probably.
Yeah, this is the first check that, you know, is really going to start adding time. Like, maybe there's a world where Ace does that check. I don't foresee it. Like you said, it would just be really diver down chests, maybe waterfall chests, if I was in Go.
Yeah, those are the three I would check, I think. This is really the downside of pendant Meyer pendant TR seeds. It's this Samaria stuff being really scary. Do you think No, we got one item so far out of swamp. How willing are you to skip left side swamp in this scenario?
One item from Go, very.
Very willing
go-
to skip. All right.
If I'm one item from Go, especially getting two items immediately like this, I'm going backwards. Or I'm going to the back first. Nothing brings me to the front. And then I count. If I know there's 2 or 3 still on left side big chest combination, then there's a better chance I go back for it.
Oh no, Ace! I think we have time to get out. Yeah.
Nice.
Go
So
back for the
Wind is Wind's gonna continue. He's gonna. So I think for Wind at this point, he's just saying, "Do I get the map? Do I get the compass?" There's our boots.
Oh, is that what that is? That's funny.
Yeah, the extra 20 is the replacement for the boots. But nice and quick kill there of the moth for just a compass.
Chat asked where Fire Rod was. It was in Super Bunny Cave.
Yep.
Ace got his hookshot and went straight up the mountain and did Dark Death Mountain checks. Windfox just only did the Light Death Mountain and then opted to go do some other stuff and get to Swamp faster.
And it looks like Ace is going to be heading towards Swamp. But right now, you know, it's 5 crystals for Ace to 3 for Wind. 4th crystal incoming for Wind. So the only crystal that's going to feel really different is, you know, Ice Palace at this rate.
Windfox, swap into mirror, not going to go back in.
And we know there's 2 items still in there. We know there's a compass, but I mean, maybe there's still a chance he heads back in. But yeah, I'm not sure he wants to at this point. And no, he's not.
Now, where are we going? Do we have the red crystals? I don't know which ones are red. Is this a big bomb check?
It is. Looks like Swamp and Desert were our reds, so he's got Pyramid.
Okay. I like that check. It's not going to work, but I like it. Not going for a big bomb dupe, though. Just going to walk it out.
Yeah, I mean, we at least have the convenient route here up through Hyrule Castle, so...
Yeah. Yeah, we see AceZer0 just walking by the compass chest and stuff.
Oh, there's the Bombos medallion in our pyramid.
Oh, that is tragic for Windfox.
Yeah, that means we're going to get a full clear of Ice Palace next, probably.
First, we're going to maybe Graveyard Ledge?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's the closest he's going to come to it, so...
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I'm unsure of, and I think I've heard some discussion of this with the new speedrun available for this game, is there's been talk of Ice Palace Bomb Jump versus Icebreaker Ice Palace. If you're just going to kill Cold Stare, is one really that much quicker than the other?
No,
So,
I mean, Icebreaker is like 5-6 seconds faster than Ice Palace Bomb Jump.
So yeah, this isn't going to really affect Ace.
No. Unless, like, silvers are in the big key chest or something. But
yeah.
In terms of just running to Cold Stare, it's not a big deal.
Wow. Is this going to be Dark Death Mountain, or is this just Hera and the sword? Like, I can see this being a sword play before Ice. Like, you know, wanting my Tempered Sword for Ice Palace for Cold Stare. I don't hate it.
You gotta do stuff while you're here, right? I mean, you at least do
That's
Hera.
the thing. We're going to get Hera. We're going to get Ether Tablet, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Do we get Super Bunny for Go, though? That's the big question.
I feel like we're not, but I don't know. Windfox keeps surprising me. I don't know what's going on sometimes. The Mirror Shield! Oh my god, we're so swaggy. We're kitted out.
Okay, so we're going to get Hera here. The question is this going to be enough time? Like, here comes crystal number 7 for Ace. Like, this is the last dungeon before GT.
I mean, it really just depends on where the GT big key is, right?
Pretty much.
And maybe Ace dies to Cold Stare, and then it doesn't just come down to that. Oh, Windfox going for a bomb setup despite having boots.
Yeah, everybody's got their preferences on it. Yeah, the Philly Pot version of Hera Pot is just so smooth.
I just don't play modes that don't start with boots.
Fair enough.
Do you think Windfox will do Hera basement?
If I had any sense of how he's routing today, I'd give an answer, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like, every step of the way, I feel like windfox has taken a very different route, and like, for a while it was really working until now.
Yeah. Yeah, some of it really paid off quite well.
Like, that Samaria has been nice, you know, got the hook shot pretty early, got a book, which wasn't terrible to have, but like, it just hasn't paid out since then. Okay, has the hammer out. This could be a play for East Death Mountain to Dark Death Mountain, which we know is the quote-unquote right play here. And really just would have Windfox behind 2 crystal dungeons. And 2 fairly quick ones at that. And he is going east, so yeah, it looks like Wind will have at least, you know, a moth kill and a cold stare kill. Like, nothing super major behind.
I mean, that is, you know, unrecoverable. That's not a gameplay. You can't play fast enough to make up for that. Without
But
some
what
sort of
this
tragedy.
really says is that if Samaria is required now, Ace is sunk, and if it's not, Wind is sunk. Like, there's
not really much left besides
yeah, there's
that.
not a lot of middle ground. If Wind had done Ice Palace first, then I could have said, you know, maybe there's still a chance that AceZer0 could have gotten the Cane of Samaria first.
Right, if that had been his very first overworld check after finding out the bad news or something.
Yeah, then, like, could have still been ahead. And there's the info, like, game expected you to have Samaria for Ice Palace.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you gonna do, though?
Yeah. It
Cross your
doesn't really
fingers.
tell a lot, like... And there we go, Windfox does get his definite go mode. That is a Fire Rod. So, Wind is in go.
Yep. Isn't there some kind of meme thing we're supposed to do on these channels?
So we don't have a bot or anything. But yeah, I mean, if you want to drop a number in chat and be like, I think the big key is there, go for it. But realistically, you're just having fun with it, folks.
Mouse might be a bot. We know that she can make bots.
Yes,
there's
we
no
have
evidence
seen
that
it.
she's not herself a bot. I'm gonna go with vanilla big key to make Ace sweat maximally.
Been a fairly friendly seed. 7 crystals, under an hour 10.
Yeah.
I always try to tell myself in Kaz boots, if I can keep it to about 10 minutes or less per crystal, I'm feeling pretty decent about the seed itself. So doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but it's a goal.
I think my race this morning was like a 123. That's probably around the right rate.
So here we go. We're gonna go obviously hope and then full right. First chest $20. Check
Probably
number 2 is a potion. Actually. Yeah, you're right. Full left is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And words are hard. Okay, Dark Magician Room. Checks 4 through 7. Got a couple of small keys. 3 small keys so far, but not our actual answer.
Can we smelt a bunch of small keys into one bigger key for Ace?
Ooh. Can we turn that into like an upgrade now in the game? That'd be cool.
Oh no, we're like halfway through the checks on this side.
And it would be so interesting to kind of get an idea of how they're both feeling right now, because like on Ace's side, you're dreading that Samaria, and for Wind, it's just like, I made every play, and then the one like deviation I made of not doing Dark Death Mountain is biting me.
Wind has got to feel bad about putting that off, yeah.
We do get silver arrows though, so hooray.
Ace is in GT with no cane because the cane was not required for any of the dungeons. Both Mire and Turtle Rock are pendants. Okay, we're running out of checks here.
I mean, what you said might come true here.
4 to go.
You said it was going to be behind AceZer almost, right? Vanilla?
That's what I... Yeah. That's... I'm sweating too now. The portal of shame.
We clearly just needed more of our 30 arrows. 30 star, we'll call it.
Just go back to the good old days when the capacity upgrades were still in the pool. The gold sword, let's go!
Clearly we needed all this. We're doing a hundo run, apparently.
Yeah. Well, but Windfox is the one with the gold shield. Oh no, dude. Oh no. Oh my god. Perfect. Let's go. Whew.
That was right at the last second. 17?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, M4A2000 does get 17. Playing for maximum sweat there. So just a very, calm GT climb. 11 hearts, red mail, gold sword, silver arrows. Easy.
Yeah, Ace has done this a million times. Ace is a pretty strong NMG runner, although he's been playing a lot more SM than Link to the Past in the past few months, but I would not expect him to have a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, not with this equipment, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, and the snipe in G2. That's such a bad idea, but when it works out, it looks really cool.
Meanwhile, Windfox onto the cold stare fight. We do get a bit of a puff party here, unfortunately. The puff's getting out of that corner.
Yeah, both players had a little bit of a cold stare party today. Luckily, they have red mail, which makes this an awful lot less scary. What is this setup, Ace? Oh, it worked perfectly too. I can't believe it. Oh my god!
Setup, jeez.
Yeah, I just draw a little U-shaped face on the ground, and then I unleash the arrows.
Yeah. Really nice Wizrobes one with the bow. Everybody's used to seeing that Samaria strat. Instead, nah, we got this.
You can one-cycle these rooms with the bow, but those strats are quite difficult, and you wouldn't normally know them unless you run some of the categories that don't get cane. Windfox now is going to come out to GT.
Yeah, we'll see how that the item layout kind of affects his route here.
I'm guessing we'll see the same exact thing Ace did, unless windfox is like a left first router or something.
Yeah, everybody's got their ways, so I'll be very curious to see how he handles this one.
Yeah. You don't have magic. All right, Ace gets the powder out, realizes he doesn't have magic, picks up the full magic, and opts not to go powder in the end.
We're fine.
It's fine. No big deal. Not opening validation chest, which makes sense. We already know it can't be the gold shield, so why bother?
We know that. He doesn't.
That's true. Listen. So Ace gonna finish up GT here right around the time windfox gets in. This is a pretty exciting race, honestly. It's not going to look like that. I mean, the finish times are going to be 5 minutes different, 6 minutes different, but definitely a pretty interesting race. That Cane of Samaria was almost such a big problem, and then it turned out that windfox just putting off Dark Death Mountain. He was right there and just decided to do other stuff first, which again I felt was weird at the time. Not like bonkers, but it seemed a little bit weird to me. But a bunch of his other plays that seemed a little bit weird also went really well. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of your plays work and some of them don't. And this time it didn't.
And yeah, it looks like windfox is setting up for a DM strat here.
Yeah.
Went full left or went left to DM room. So, yep, we're getting DM strats here from windfox, at least to compass chest.
I assume we're not going all the way to Armos from the right side because nobody ever does that anymore, but that would actually...
Yeah, nobody goes full Dark Magician, it feels like, anymore.
This is going to be a pretty nice finish time. Honestly, this is going to be a pretty nice finish time for both players. This is going to be like a 117 from Ace and like a... probably a 122-ish from windfox.
Yeah, depending on what route he takes the rest of the way to the big key.
Yeah.
But just like that, Ace is into phase 3. Cold Sword's just not fair, right? Makes this fight a walk in the park. And even with the fact that, you know, you already expect this fight to be pretty straightforward for any accomplished NMG runner.
I really love the tempered Ganon sword fight, and I feel kind of cheated out of it when I get silvers in rando. Nice phase 4 though.
Yep, nice double.
GG's to AceZer0, gonna be the only player in the group to take a win on windfox.
Yep, just gonna need to cross this bridge, and does so there, finishing this race officially with a race time of 1:17:23. And it does appear that right after that, windfox did decide to throw in a forfeit. Close enough at this point, doesn't need to do a whole nother set of the rest of the GT. So, calls it. So.
Very reasonable.
Yep, so get your GGs in chat for both of our runners who have finished up. We'll see if we can get them in for any interview. Looks like I see AceZer0 already in the waiting room, and we'll see if Wind also joins us, as we are joined by AceZer0. GG!
GG Ace.
Thanks. GG to windfox.
Windfox has not yet joined us, but yes, hopefully he will, and GG to windfox. Yes, the cane was in hammer pegs. Saw you asking
okay.
Chat.
I see. That's kind of funny.
Hey,
I definitely... GG.
GG, Ace. Well done, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, I definitely was a little worried about the cane, but like not too much until like most of the way through GT basement and was like, oh no, now it's starting to feel bad. Like after rando room, basically.
Yeah, so for windfox, who the big key was behind ice armor, so it was in the last possible checks for Ace. Very dramatic.
Actually, the
Paper
last
break
one, the back right chest.
Oh,
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting seed. I didn't really know how to feel. I felt pretty good, except for the pod and Eastern Clear and a couple like random rooms that I just like forgot what I was doing in.
I think the Eastern Clear was the only thing you did that really didn't work out, and then potentially skipping or not finding Red Cane. But other than that, it was a pretty clean clear from you. Windfox was making some interesting plays and looked ahead for a while, but then leaving the mountain early and missing the fire rod was really what turned the tables.
yeah. If I had done Hera and then Dark Death Mountain after finding that second sword and find that fire rod, because at that point, knowing I was literally just a second sword and fire rod from go mode, if I stay on the mountain, I hit go mode at like 36, 38 minutes-ish, maybe 40-ish.
Sounds
Yeah,
about
it's
right.
a tough call.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely understand that. I stalled for a minute. Like, what do I want to check here? How thorough do I want to be now that I can go get my mirror and do like 6 dungeons?
Right.
It's like I guess I'll do Hera at least, and then decide from there what I want to do.
When you left Death Mountain, Windfox, we thought you were going to just go straight to get your mirror and do Swamp immediately. But then you went and did some other overworld stuff, and I was sort of interested in why you didn't want to do the Death Mountain overworld and wanted to do some other thorough checks instead.
I tend to do some more thorough plays. It just ended up routing in such a way that I was able to do them, but they ended up obviously not paying off. I overcleared by a bit, which was the biggest difference. You know, I did Smith's Chain into all the mirror checks near Swamp Palace that didn't pay off, minus the Cane of Samaria and Hammer Pigs, which apparently Ace never found, and if it was on right side, then I probably just automatically win at that point.
It was
Basically,
close enough,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that we figured that was the case. The only thing we thought could have changed that timing was if maybe you had done Ice Palace after getting Bombos. But since you instead went to the mountain, it was kind of like, okay, this is going to be really close if it's not there. Or like you had the clear advantage.
Where was Bombos? I did not get that one.
Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy. Because I found,
okay.
because I found Bombos, I was like, both the dungeons are Bombos entry. This gets me into ice. I'm just like, this is a crappy situation.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's heavy bait right there. Really trying to.
Yeah, we
you
thought,
went-
you were heading up the mountain to get that tempered sword before ice. So we're like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. And then we're like, does he go east or does he just go straight to ice from Hera? And then you went east. We're like, okay, this keeps it interesting.
Yeah, because my thought was I have all 3 pendants. Like, I was going to all learn, if it wasn't in Super Bunny Cave or Hookshot Cave, I was going to just throw all my chips in on Total Rock at that point.
Really, a bad, oof, that would be an
Yep.
ugly turtle rock.
I mean, looking for Fire Rod, I think that makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
you can very likely not do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because you'll get kicked out. Well, you obviously can't do the whole thing, but you might get kicked out really early, and it's not that big of a time loss.
Or
Until you have that one seed that gives you all the keys to get all the way to Laser Bridge, and it's nothing.
Right. I mean, it's still like denser than
Yeah.
I guess other things. I don't know. Then like full clearing like Mire, or I mean, depending on your movement, there's some crappy Overworld that can be almost as bad. Looking for just one item like that.
The only overworld check I had left was Checkerboard Cave and Sahasrahla. I had done everything else in the game.
Oh man, that's rough. I didn't find the book either. I guess you had that.
Catfish.
Catfish, yeah. Book was on
Of
Catfish.
course, Catfish always has something. I am gonna eventually stop getting burned by Catfish or start checking it.
I guess. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wind.
Well, I was gonna say that's literally the deciding factor of our first race was I checked Catfish and
Oh.
he didn't.
Yeah,
And-
it was like, was it the cane in the first one too? I forget what it was.
It was the Bombos medallion on Catfish to get into Mire.
Okay,
Oh, God.
right. And it was my last location, like hard last location.
Yeah.
So I do want to bring this up because Fox said this earlier, you know, saw you go into Skull Woods for at least that front check, Ace.
Oh yeah, you've changed, man.
What do you mean?
Old Ace used to hate checking the front of Skullwoods.
It depends. That's there's always like exceptions to things. I mean, I didn't have Hammer yet. If I have Hammer and Skullwoods is Thieves is a crystal, I'm gonna go south to Thieves first probably. But no Hammer. Like, I don't know. Really, no dungeons were clearable at that time, and I don't know. I like that first chest a lot of times, just because you can do the first chest and like feels like that's an item a lot for whatever reason. That specific chest seems pretty hot. I don't know if I'm just crazy or I've gotten lucky on it in the seeds I've played. But if that one's an item, then I just bail.
Right,
take the one
sense.
item and assume there's keys and maps and compasses everywhere.
Yeah.
And it worked out here. I mean, well enough. I got the heart container, and it was, better than a compass.
That's true. I was kind of surprised you did combo it with the bumper ledge check, since you're right there.
I was trying to figure out, like, I mean, obviously I couldn't do it, because I was like, well, I'll get the mirror eventually, and I can do bumper ledge while picking up my mirror and doing. I was like, wait a minute, no, that doesn't work. Maybe I can at least get the mirror and do bumper ledge with graveyard ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was not thinking the mirror was going to take that long, basically. I mean, with 4 swords out there, I mean, 2 of them were hard locked behind the mirror, so there's that.
Yeah, I definitely would have gotten baited by that too, and kept putting things off, being like, well, surely I'll be able to get the mirror any second now, and then I can combine these things.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea, and I don't know, that just the scout for bumper ledge, like, obviously it's good info, but I had a lot more dense things to do.
Yeah.
Even if I had to go play the arrow game to get some rupees. Yeah, it was a fun seed. I'm not surprised that we split 1-1 for our races when Fox is good. And
I'm surprised.
I'm good at times.
I was expecting the O2 from you.
Nah, I mean, so many people have gotten so much better, and I've been a little bit away from like ladder races and stuff. So I don't know what to expect. I certainly don't have any expectation of like steamrolling anybody, but I'm feeling good being 2-1 at this point. I still have 3 races left in the group. GG's on 5-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-1 has to be good to get out, and I think Ace, you're positioned well to get out. Although obviously there's definitely a lot of games left. Things could go wrong, but I think this is a good position for you because one of your wins is on the clear 1 seed. So
I'm expecting that tiebreaker race.
oh yeah, that's possible.
If he wins out, we get a tiebreaker.
Woo!
That'd be fun.
We can't keep things easy, can we?
Of course not.
I guess anything else from either of our runners?
I don't think so. Just thanks for commentary and tracking whoever was doing that. And GG's again on the win, Windfox. It was fun.
Yeah, GG's.
Or not on the win, sorry.
Yeah. I'm expecting that tiebreaker race, Ace. Don't fail me.
There's pressure.
Yeah, thanks Jesse and Fox for commentary, Ike here for the tracking, and SpeedGaming obviously for hosting this race.
Sounds great. Thank you again to both of our runners. Make sure to give them a follow. And in terms of... I don't know what the schedule exactly holds for this tournament. I know restreamed races kind of go every so often. So just looking to see right now. Does look like we have a race scheduled to be on SG4 tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. Group AB, we've got Teto versus Chelsea X-Lin, so they will be giving a race over there. But keep looking here. We'll see what kind of races do get scheduled for this tourney. I know we're kind of in a between period for major Link to the Past randomizer tourneys, so this is always a good relaxer tourney for everybody. A bit more of a fun one and pretty brisk paced, so great opportunity for everybody to just have fun. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to work with you today, Fox. Thanks, Ike, here again. And do you want to close us out today?